guys, hi! Oh, Red Queen! So, I have been waiting to make and post this video. I was originally going to wait until I got my copies back and I was able to reread it or at least, like, skim it a little bit, but a friend is still reading them, so I don't have my copies with me today, but I'm going to go off of memory, and we're going to do a book review for Red Queen, which is going to be so excited. So, I'm just going to be bluntly honest. I absolutely love this book. I want to say I read like the first 3 chapters, literally sitting in the aisle in Target, just sitting on the floor reading this book, and it was... I fell in love with it. From the first chapter, which a lot of books really don't do that for me. Sometimes it takes me a little bit, and even then I will sometimes stop reading books just because they're either not moving fast enough or it's just I decide it's not something I really want to read. But Red Queen is fantastic and amazing, and so many other adjectives. I love this book. I'm acting ridiculous. I'm so very sorry. But anyway, but yeah. So a lot of people were complaining about it, that it was more script-like, but to me, yes, it does read like it would very easily be made into a movie, which admittedly is, I want to say how it was pitched as a book to be made into a movie. But I would also like to say that the author, Victoria Aveyard, for one, she's a fantastic human being, it seems like, because I stalk her in a lot of places. Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram. I have no shame. But she is very honest about the fact that she went to school to go into the film industry, and she had gotten the urge to write a book. Now, I will tell you right now, as somebody who writes a lot of fan fiction and is currently trying to write a novel, I've currently been trying to write a novel for years. Let me just say I have a lot of half-finished works. I'm very bad at actually finished things, which is sad, but not the point. But I have dabbled a bit with script writing. Script writing, screenwriting is very different from writing a book. And it's a learning curve with both. So I would just like to say that with that in mind, Red Queen is fantastic. I mean, it was fantastic before I even knew that. But now that I did know that, to me, it makes it even better, just because I know it's hard to go from one type of writing to another type. And, so, a lot of the stuff where it seems kind of bland or overly descriptive because of whatever, it doesn't bother me. And I don't know why. I just know that it doesn't bother me. And I love this book. So, beyond the style of the writing, and a lot of people who are complaining about, you know, book and movie, and it was made to be a movie, and should have just been a movie. Guys, can't we just enjoy the story for what it is? Personally, I love it. I think it's fantastic. Yes, it's another dystopian novel. Yes, it's about people rising up against the current government. Yes, it's about the government being kind of tyrannical and insane. We already know that. That's kind of what's selling right now. Okay? You're gonna find a lot of it. But there are the rare gems They're really good. And those of you who don't like it for whatever reason, that's your opinion. You're allowed to have your opinion. Your opinion is valid. I'm sure your reasons are valid because everyone has different likes and dislikes. I love this book, so please, you're allowed to have your opinions. Please don't argue with me about this. So, and the subject of the main character and characterizations. Mare is kind of awesome. Yes, she's very Katniss-like, but she's also very different. Because she actually cares for her entire family, not just her little sister, like Katniss, because Katniss was very against her mother because of what her mother did after her father died, which, was understandable, but this isn't Hunger Games. We're not talking about Hunger Games. Mary's fantastic because not only does she also care for her family, she has this friend, and they're trying so hard to not have to be conscripted into the army because most people don't live, which is depressing as all get out, but it's the sad fact. But truth, in that book, everybody who gets conscripted from the army, about 80% don't survive, I want to say. I could be wrong, I could be misremembering things, but that's what I remember, is most of the people don't come home. They die. And so when she realizes that there's a way out, she tries. It ends up failing utterly miserably, but she tries. And then we get introduced to Cal. I love and hate Cal for many reasons. I love him because he genuinely does care about his citizens. I hate him because he is an ignorant little shit half the time. He doesn't understand the struggles of the people who live the way that Mare and her family do. He doesn't understand the actual struggles of wondering where your next meal is going to come. Are your children ever going to come home? Aside from that, he does care about people. Because he cares about his brother, he cares about his father, he cares about Mare, even after she tried to steal from him, and he got her job and all that. So, yes, I'm throwing in a little bit of spoilers, but this book has been out for like 2 years. 1.5 years. I don't remember when it came out, but that's not the point. The book's been out for a while. I guess I will put minor spoilers on here. But, he cares. He's very human in the aspect of he doesn't understand. He doesn't necessarily try his hardest to understand. While he does try, he doesn't do it in the way that he probably should. He just... I have a love-hate relationship with this kid. But anyway, so... A lot of the characters are actually pretty well-rounded. You see a lot of their personalities. You see Mare more than anyone else because, she's the main character and it's told in her point of view. But, again, at the same time, when it's told in her point of view, you also see the characters colored by her perceptions. So, that is where things get interesting. Because Mare is a very interesting character. She very much sees things in black and white, which I find rather interesting, and even though she sees a lot of things in black and white, she's also able to see things from the silver perspective as well as the red, which makes her very dangerous. But despite that, she's still very red at heart. But yeah, so. I love the characters, I love the style of the writing. The plot is, again, a very tried and true dystopian novel type of sorry, I'm hearing things in the background, it's distracting me. The plot is yeah, it's very dystopian in the fact that, you know, people are trying to rise up and change things, which, you know, that happens. Um, I mean, it's fantastic, and you know, it's just different enough that even though you're reading the same thing over and over again, it seems like when it comes to dystopian plots, it's still different enough that it's fantastic and new because it has like the special powers that everybody has and the differences between the Reds, the Silvers, and the New Bloods, which they don't really call them New Bloods until like the second book. But just gonna call them New Bloods because they're Reds with powers, which is what Mare is, and which is how the whole Red Queen thing came around. So all that is fantastic, and you get a betrayal in a very interesting place because even though a lot of people were saying that they expected it, for some reason I didn't. Looking back on it now, I'm like, yeah, I probably should have expected that. But I didn't. And it was very interesting because I usually call that. I am usually the first one to be like, oh, this is going to happen and this is going to happen, but for some reason, I did not see that coming. But I actually really enjoyed it because I couldn't predict it. And so when I was reading like the last few chapters of that book, I'm freaking out. And so it's just, oh, it was so amazing. So yeah, just the characterization, the writing style, the plot, and you know, the setting really wasn't all that important. Yeah, it was great because you got to see so much of the world from the highest up in the echelons of the king and queen and their court, and all the way down in the dirt, in the mud, in the stilts, where I don't remember if that's what it's actually called. This is what happens when I don't have my book, of where, you know, Mare grew up and her family and everything. So it's very, you get to see so much of this world even within the first book. And you also get to see a glimpse of the rebellion rising up and everything, and so you're just, I freaked out. I loved it. I thought it was great. I would definitely recommend it to a lot of different people. I do have a friend who didn't particularly care for the book. And this is very interesting to hear her reasons why. So, while I don't want to start any arguments, just, you know, give me your opinions of the books and what you thought, and you know, what you thought about what I touched on and all that stuff. As I keep saying, I love this book. So let's please not get hateful down in the comments. So no more arguing. Alright, I've said that enough times. I've paused awkwardly enough times. Alright. I'm gonna end this. So subscribe, other videos, and love you guys. Bye!